Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well this morning. Got a few messages for you here. So first, there was a vision of some boys, teens perhaps, or maybe in their early 20s. There were maybe 8 of them, maybe more. They were fighting with each other. They were like on the ground, stepping up, trying to knock each other to the ground. And they were doing this in a puddle of black water or like goo. They were kind of splashing around in it and wrestling and hitting each other. They were covered in that black stuff. And this reminded me of a substance that while I was in spiritual battle, occasionally they would do something and bring this like black, it felt like black tar, the energy of black tar. It really felt like death. And they would plant it in my solar plexus. It was really awful. But that's what this substance looked like. And I was wondering if this black puddle blob thing is an entity. The other day, these adversaries were saying that they could not feed them. Now, I don't know what them are. I think them could be a particular entity that has been utilizing maybe host human bodies or what appear to be human bodies, maybe clones or whatever. So this entity has been in this host and they can't feed it. They can't feed them. So I'm wondering if maybe now they're feeding on the people that were somehow connected to this or made agreement with it. So these adversaries of humanity and love and life, they're talking about blasphemy. So they're very religious. They worship this entity, this thing, and they have specific rules and regulations, and they have been, what appears to me, playing with this dark blob-like thing to get kind of control and authority over others, and then somehow covering themselves with the essence of purity and innocence, and then asking the Most High God for protections. But this is over. This is over. They've been found out to be double dipping or whatever. Now, they're talking about devices, like what devices. They mentioned this a couple days ago, too. They're very curious about what kind of devices you're using. It seems that they may be planning some sort of an event with electronic devices. So it might be a good idea to put it in the microwave or at least get it out of your bedroom next week, because something big is supposed to be happening next week. Particular, it's supposed to start on the 10th, and in particular, the adversary thinks they're hypothesizing that whatever is coming is going to come on the 15th and 16th. I also received a message that was not words, and it wasn't pictograph, it was a knowing, and the knowing said, "We'll see you all next week." Now, I don't know if this is, again, I'm going to mention it, I don't know if this is some sort of a timeline bifurcation, trifurcation, or a rapture, or some kind of a timeline jump to the future, because there's also been talk of that you've completed your mission and you get to go to the future now. You were successful. But anyway, these adversaries are talking about devices. So there may be some weird thing that they're going to try to do with the devices in order to snatch you up or trap you up. They're talking about a Sagittarius. Now, the main leader of this group, who was really big, bad, icky energy individual, was certain that whoever this feminine is, that's supposed to be the warrior bride or whatever, is supposed to be a Sagittarius. And they have not been able to locate this person. So the big bad boogeyman is no longer present, but their comrades are still looking for this person. They're saying that it needs to be authentic. So anybody that is magnifying their essence or energy with drugs or alcohol or anything like that, they're not authentic. And you know, if they get away from that kind of a thing, they wouldn't be able to produce like they do when they're under the influence. So it needs to be authentic. They're talking about drizzle. Now, drizzle is a light rain of very fine drops. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but they do spray things in the atmosphere to seed clouds. Now, what chemicals are spraying into the clouds to seed the clouds and to cause the rain and this drizzle, I don't know, but they're talking about this drizzle. So it might be beneficial to cover up when you are walking to and fro your car, anywhere you go. Now might be a good time to... You know, I was thinking about those plastic caps that Grandma used to wear, the plastic rain caps, because back in the day, Grandma used to set her hair once a week, you know. She'd go get her hair done once a week. And they were always wearing these plastic rain caps. They were clear with little flowers printed on them and stuff. So I was wondering if maybe, you know, I don't know why that just came to mind. So they're concerned, these adversaries who wanted to trap you, luminaries here, so that they could continue siphoning your light and your gifts and your connections to source. They're talking about the separation. They're very concerned about it. One of them said, "Not mine, but now that you know," and the response was, "We're done." So that was a feminine. Not mine, but now that you know. So whatever she's been doing, producing, she's not authentic. She's been, energy harvesting off of somebody else, stealing the ideas of somebody else. Whatever she's been utilizing isn't hers. And the response was, "We're done." Whoever the masculine is, he's just pissed because he thought he had the real deal, and he had a fraud, a fake, a doppelganger. There is concern about temperature and infectious diseases. Now, I don't know if this is something they're going to put in the drizzle that they're going to seed the clouds with. They may be concerned about the temperature and how infectious diseases need to be at a specific temperature in order to survive, right? So I don't know if they're trying to plan something with the drizzle and infectious diseases, but they're concerned about the temperature. Like whatever it is, it may not survive. It has to be a specific temperature. So a masculine adversary, Jackwagon, was saying, "I have 100%er." So a little backstory on this. There are fractals of source here, feminines and masculines. The masculines, you know, have been manipulated to spill their blood in endless wars, and then have been tricked into, you know, spilling blood and then getting condemned for thou shalt not kill and blah, 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 and then getting trapped into some punishment. So anyway, that's what they've been doing with the masculines. But the feminines, who are 100%ers, they have facilitated a way that they can remove them from the platform. So they harvest them right away. And then they traffic them, sell them, do whatever. Slavery, intergalactic slavery, and use them as breeders. And that's what they've been looking at the Earth Angels as, breeders. And they wanted to keep all the seeds, and this is what this big fight is about. They wanted to keep all the seeds because you are luminaries, and what comes out of you is a magnificent light being, and they're into creating family trees of warriors. So what's happened here is you are at 97%. They could not remove you. Their technology wouldn't allow that because you have to be 100%. They attacked you brutally, mentally, energetically, emotionally, in the physical, probably caused you car accidents and instability with your living structure, your foundation, your home. Very, very difficult. They tried to make your life over the last 10, 20 years maybe your whole life, and maybe many lives, trying to break you down so that you would not make it to this point. They've realized that keeping you in solitude without a support system only made you stronger and strengthened your connection to source. Anyhow, what's happened here is that you actually came together with another luminary. You too, basically, is what this has been all about. They wanted to keep you apart from each other. They don't want you to produce offspring together. They don't want you to create a family tree of luminaries, because you're both luminaries and you're both right up there. Like, I don't know, he must not, either he is at 100% and he was put into some atrocious place of suffering because they wanted to destroy him, but he rose from that. And you also rose from the solitude and the instability and the extra heavy burdens that they put upon your mind, your emotions, and your energy. And you know, they cover you with this disgusting sex magic and shit like that, and then, you know, foul up your essence, and you're constantly having to, you know, as a star being, rejuvenate and revitalize and renew yourself. And so you've been very busy, you know. So, but the thing about this is that the two of you have finally come together. Now, this could be in the spirit, and this could be what's happening next week. It could be, see you all next week, that you're actually going to get together and you have made it. The wait is over. This is happening. This is finally happening. And you are going to have a beautiful, luminescent family tree. I saw a picture of the tree. It's huge, like an oak tree, but I don't think it's as fragile as an oak tree sometimes gets when it gets old, because this tree was like brilliant, bluish white light. Kind of reminded me of Archangel Michael's light, but it was a little more white. And it was magnificent. So the two of you are going to create, and every little shoot, even on the farthest branches of this thing, the newest branches coming off of this tree were still magnificently filled with this light. So there was no dimming of the light from the original coming together in creation. So this person who says, I have 100%er. So they're thinking about breeding her to try to get species. There are different star beings out there. Years ago, I heard them speaking about wanting to upgrade their own genealogy, you know, their own DNA, their own genetics. And that's what they were here searching for. The masculine and feminine's star beings that they could then do that with. So this is what it's like a huge thing that most people are not privy to. So here's the thing about that. They may have 100%er, but what they do to these 100%ers is right away they initiate them into the family, right? Which includes gang sex, abuse. I witnessed this. I heard it, felt the energy of it, but I did not see it. Fortunately for me, I was kept from the vision of it. So, but it happened, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. This woman, all I could see after the effect, I was able to see her. I was able to see her after it had happened, and they were trying to prepare her for wherever it was they were going to move her. And anyhow, they defile them. So the energy is automatically degraded, and whoever they're breeding her with is not a magnificent, luminescent being as your kingdom spouse is. So they're also here now, they're talking about a car accident. Now, somebody may have had a car accident. It could have been one of these adversaries. They may be trying to get you to have a car accident, but you have amazing protection right now, and whatever magic they're throwing at you is going right back. There's nothing that they can do regarding you. So I'm thinking that it's somebody on their team who has had a car accident. They're talking about gold. Now, I believe this to be one of your light bodies. Um, you have a golden body. You have a light body, like a white light body. You have layers to you. Because you're a higher vibrational being, you come from a higher vibrational system, and you are that, nestled here in a flesh suit called a temple. And during your trials, I believe that you were made quite vulnerable and perhaps naked, and everybody could see you for what you are, right? So anyhow, they're looking for a similarity. They think they have a similarity, but the fact of the matter is that you are a unique fractal of Source who has been severely tried, and you have come out with many facets, and you shine differently from every one of these cuts, every one of these wounds, and you can't be duplicated. Somebody's saying, well, your family right here. Now, this, I feel, is somebody talking to your old family tree, the one that martyred you, the one that tried to bury you for profit, for gain, not only monetary, but of status. And they were using you for your services while trying to destroy you at the same time. They've lost you. And you are in contract with a new family tree. Like I said earlier, you may be actually uniting with them next week. See you all next week was the message. The message that wasn't verbal, it wasn't auditory, it wasn't what do they call that? Picture, wasn't pictures, and it was just annoying. It was like I love the way they talk like that. It's magnificent. And they said, see you next week. So whether they're coming here or you're going there, or there's just going to be a shift in timelines, again, this is exciting. So somebody was saying, as long as we've known each other, and they're like, ... right? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get to hear the rest of it, but they're having deep conversations about how she's beautiful and how she has the strength. They're still looking for relationship with one of these star beings. Please do what you need to do with the genders. But these are masculines talking. And a while back, I was told that this is the end of their relationship with batteries. See, because they get relationship, they plug in, and then they drain the vital force and be empowered by it. So there's this little weasel boy who I feel is the main antagonist. His mother used to be there, but she's no longer there. And, people keep falling away from this little weasel's nest. And he's telling somebody, I have to let it go. He's a relentless little POS. He likes to mimic children in terror. He likes to mimic their voices and double up on the sound of it and the energy of it in the minds of people. He loves to really F around with the mental body of people. This is a really big POS. His ancestors were on his ass as to why he did it. The luminaries, these people that were part of the family, they were supposed to protect and take care of, because these luminaries were there in service to provide them with gifts and services that were going to improve and greatly magnify their lives. And instead of loving them for who they are, they martyred them, buried them in darkness, and then drained them of their vitality and used them for their gifts. And his response was, because it's energy, and energy is life. See, they felt that your life was to prolong theirs. They determined for themselves how your gifts and services were going to be used. They didn't want to receive. They wanted to command, dominate, and control. They betrayed the Most High with the trust that they were given regarding you. They're talking about SEX because that, you know, they live in the power of the root, and that's where they get their power, and they harvest it from the unsuspecting, the suspecting, and whoever they can just dominate. They're talking about combat. They're in a war, and they're also paranoid because it's not going well. So somebody's hopeful. You know, they're running out of money, but they're hopeful. They're saying, well, if we all add $600, so they're combining their money to try to buy something, pay for a service, get a gift from a spiritual source of dominance or something. And then someone said, someone is in for a rude awakening. So whatever it is that they're doing, it's not going to work. They are concerned about what's going to happen on the 19th. Now, so the week starts on the 10th, 11/10 to 11/16 is when we're going to see you next week. These adversaries, they're thinking it's going to happen on the 15th or 16th. In the 2 weeks after that, something serious is going to happen. They actually mentioned the 19th. They're very concerned about what's going to happen on the 19th. Then I heard a song, I lose control when you're not next to me, by Teddy Swims. And so this is some, you know, Teddy Swims, I think, is I'll just say that it's a song, and it reminds me of, you know, these people who like to tap in and utilize the energetic resources and gifts of others to power up their own will and intent, and they do so without permission. And they're out of control because you're not next to them. They can't tap into you. They can't utilize your energy to do what it is they want to do, and they're just simply not able to pull it off. Somebody the other day was like, this is the best you can do. And yes, that's the best they can do without being connected to you. And they lost you. Somebody's talking about a signature. I'm thinking they have documentation, and they're either wanting to forge a signature or they're wanting to have somebody in authority notarize or somehow verify these documents with a signature. But it could be either. They might be trying to forge your signature onto some documentation. Somebody said, we're being told to stay away from her. They have to give it up. They have to let it go. They have an agenda. There is something about an agenda that they're talking about. It includes Clonade. Clonade. This could be, because this was worldwide, this could be what they were concerned about not being able to feed. They weren't able to feed the clones. It could be the clones, or it could be this black goo. And also what happened was that something was killing them, and it got most of them. So I don't know if all the clones have been deceased, or the majority of them, or what's going on here. Or maybe this black goo is eating the clones. I don't know what's going on. Then somebody's saying, I'm Mr. Blue, whoa, whoa, thinking about seduction, wanting to come in and play on your heartstrings. So that's what I got for you today, this morning. I hope that this verifies or clarifies something that you may have already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.